Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about
Hey guys, and welcome to another video. This one is about, probably if you were able to guess it from the intro, analog horror, which if you don't know what analog horror is, I'm going to explain it in a minute, but analog horror is a really cool topic because it's something I really like and it's just overall interesting. But, so, even if you don't know what analog horror is, you might have seen it. As examples of analog horror, there's things like the Mandalacatalog, waltenfiles, or basically like the backrooms, most of the ones made by Kane Pixels. So that's kind of examples of things that are analog horror. But it just as like an example, basically as like what analog horror is basically it's horror videos, usually horror videos, sometimes video games, that are styled like a VHS tape or old recording, so they seem analog, which is first of all a very interesting concept and is literally everywhere all over the internet. But the thing I'm here to answer today is, why is analog horror so unbelievably scary? Like, some analog horror things aren't as scary as other ones, but some analog horror is really scary, mainly just because of the fact that it's analog. And this is basically a video about the three different possible reasons why analog horror is so scary. So let's start with the first reason. It's probably one of the factors that makes it scary is nostalgia, because people really on the internet love nostalgia, and this is something very common on horror games and horror stuff, is using nostalgia in something to make it seem scary. As like an example, this isn't analog horror, but like FNAF, it's literally a pizzeria that seems like something out of someone's childhood but evil. So that makes sense as one of the possible reasons why analog horror is so scary.
We are currently receiving countless reports of an unidentified hostile organism that we'll refer to as alternates. Until we have a complete understanding of the threat, it's important to stay home, lock all doors and windows, and have access to a loaded firearm or any ranged weapon at all times. You will know if an alternate exists solely based on their physical characteristics. If you see another person that looks identical to you, run away and hide. If you see a person that has a biologically impossible characteristic, run away and hide. If one manages to break into your home, refrain from any kind of communication or contact with the
Into why analog horror is so scary is the fact that it's kind of different than what is kind of like normal now with internet media. Like, nowadays you can just open Photoshop and create a scary video or a scary image if you're pretty good at Photoshop in like half an hour or something. But with analog horror, it's different, because analog horror, you still can create it in the same amount of time, sometimes even less. But there's a difference. When you just like create something that's supposed to happen like nowadays in a timeline for horror, it gives a weird impression that since analog horror basically means it seems more real. Like, not as in like the concepts are more realistic, but as in just it feels more real, because analog things, basically you can't edit them. But like, if you just get a video on the internet, someone could have edited that all they wanted. But with this analog things, I don't think you can edit VHS tapes. I don't know about that. You could possibly edit them, but I don't think you can.
right. Yeah, cool. Like how much further? Like
A little more. A little more.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa! Hello? Hello? Hey guys.
The final factor I want to talk about is that analog horror is purposefully low quality. Not as in like it's made where like it's not made bad, but like the actual videos are usually pretty. They're supposed to look like an old VHS tape that's sometimes glitchy or but like as an example, VHSs have trouble showing things that are in the dark, which makes you instantly more afraid because humans have a natural fear of the dark and the unknown. So that just makes it more scary in general. So yeah, that's all the things in this video I have to say about analog horror. And yeah, thank you for watching. I think analog horror is a pretty good thing. Also, all the clips of analog horror I've shown in the video, I have links to the people and YouTube channels that have made the analog horror in the description. So definitely go check that out if you like analog horror or horror in general. But yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.